I really feel like that was the time God really separated me, because although I wasn't into too many crazy things, I wasn't going out anything, but my work life had taken over my actual life, and I was too busy, and there was no time for God or anything like that. So when I actually moved away, I feel like God used that time as separating me from everyone, and He really spoke to me in that time. Obviously, I had got my place and things, and I thought next steps, where are we going with this? And obviously it was like finding a partner, finding a husband. I did, I tried to do it my way, but I always was heartbroken, and it was basically just a failure. And then in that time when I was on my own, God really spoke to me. So I came across a series online, just searching at one time, just was so desperate, and I just went online and I searched, what does God have to say about relationships, and what's His view on it? And I came across this series called Relationship Goals on YouTube, and I watched the whole thing, and in that series God just literally changed my life, because in the culture that I come from, we don't get educated, we don't get told what to expect from relationship. You kind of lose your own identity, because you're always people pleasing as well. So in this time I got taught a lot about me and my identity in Christ, and what He wants for me in a partner. So I started looking for someone with a different sort of lens at this point, and this is where then, when I was content with myself, is when God put Ben in front of me. So I think, in that time that I was away was probably kind of an eye-opening experience, and then I met you, and there we are now. So as God has walked with us while we were separate and while we were single, God's still gonna have His hand on us. And like I said before as well, the fact that you might have your set list of what kind of person you want, but God knows what you need. So when you leave it to Him, He will find that right person for you. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, and I can see like the benefit that's had on you. Like the Transformation Church, give it a watch. It's amazing. It changes a lot of things.
It definitely changed my life. Yeah. It definitely changed my life, and I've carried on following that church as well, because I feel like God really speaks to me through them.
And for you, I think it's amazing how God's brought us both together. Like for me, I know that God gives you the desires of your heart.
He does.
And for me, after university, I went overseas to sports ministry, and I went to India 5 times, and I've been over to Malawi 5 times, and they're 2 places that I absolutely love. And I love Indian culture. I fell in love with everything to do with India, and I love everything to do with places in Africa. And to find someone who is Indian and was brought up in Africa, I never thought that was possible, to find all the things that I love in life to be found in a person who's also a Christian and good looking and so beautiful and fits with me. Is like the chances of all those things are so small. I thought it was never going to happen.
Yeah.
And to find someone who fits that criteria, like God does give you your desires of your heart.
Yeah.
And going forward as well, I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen going forward, and we're planning to go overseas to Malawi next summer.
Yeah.
And Sandeep was going to use her pharmacy background, and I'm going to use my sports background, hopefully to work for the local church, and to go and to try and use what our skills, talents and abilities to try and change lives and transform communities.
Yeah.
And that's because God's done that in our own life first.
Yeah.
And after He's done that in our own life, we want to give our whole life to Him. And for Him to use whatever He wants us to do in the future, whatever that may be. If that's in this country, if that's in somewhere like Malawi, or wherever that is in the future, we just want to serve Him wherever that is in the future, and use the gifts that He's given us in the future.
Yeah,
and I think the best is yet to come.
Yeah, definitely.